$100
I wish I was.
Okay, let's get started. Here we go. Heavenly Father, thank you again just for time to get together, to prepare, to look forward to what you have for us as we get ready to head to Israel. God, we invite your presence here in Jesus' name. Amen. Again, I want to welcome you, those of you that are watching online. As you can see, we have 102 days from today. We will be heading out to Israel. So 102 days from right now, we will be in New York or Atlanta, the city of departure, whatever city that is. Those of you that are watching, you'll have met us there. We'll take care of all your flights. All that's taken care of. Don't worry about that. And we'll all meet at the airport, and we'll be getting ready to board in about an hour and a half, typically. We'll have a long old flight to Israel. We'll be landing tomorrow, 103 days from now, on a Friday around 2:30 in the afternoon or so in Tel Aviv. And then we'll get our suitcases and we will head out to our hotel. And then it begins. The trip, those of you that have flown overseas, it's so different flying with a group of people that you know, as opposed to just you or a couple people flying. On this trip, we're not going to have a lot of people. We'll have like 20 people, maybe a few more, a few less, be right around 20. It could be as many as 25, I'm going to say 20. But we'll have a group of folks, so we'll have 20 folks that we know. I've been on planes where we've had 80 people that we know. And that's just like, my town's only 250 people, so it's a third of my town on the plane with me. It's like, what? But this will be so fun. It'll be so fun, you won't even believe it. It's nothing but a great time. Once we get to the airport here in Albuquerque, you will have absolutely no more concerns as far as luggage, as far as food, as far as anything. You might buy 4 or 5 lunches for the 3 weeks that you're gone, and that's about it. There'll be no hidden expenses, nothing like that. Everything will be taken care of, so much so even to the dollar rental for your towel if you want to get baptized in the Jordan. So everything is just included, so you can just go have fun. Don't have to worry about what you're going to do, when you're going to do it. Everything is just taken care of. But you have free time at night. Free time at night, especially in Jerusalem, we go as groups, and if you just jump in with whoever you want to jump in with. Have fun. We share taxis and we go. And then we meet and we go. And we have fun, we come back, and we get up 5:30 the next morning and start all over again. It's awesome. So it's just going to be a sweet, sweet, sweet time. Today, for those of you watching online, and for those of you here, what we're going to be doing is I've got some folks who have gone with us in the past, and I've asked them just to share a little bit about the trip, not so much about what they saw. There'll be some of that in there, but I want them to share this time about the logistics of the trip compared to other trips they've been on. It's one thing for me to say, you're not going to have to worry about too much. It's another thing for them to come up and say, you know, it's really true. You don't have to worry about anything. You can just sit back and be treated like royalty. And that's what we're going to do. We are going to serve you and serve you and serve you. If you have an upset stomach, let me know. We'll take care of it for you. We'll do whatever you need. We're there for you. I'll check on you sometimes ad nauseum, but I'll come and check on you. Make sure you're doing okay. And just see what's going on. How's it going? Anything I can do to help it make it better for you? Is there anything going on? I'm going to encourage you to take advantage of the times we get together. If it's a worship set, whatever we're doing, we have a chance to get together with it. When we have a little Bible study off the schedule in the evening or something, come to it. That type of thing. Those are really sweet times. So don't isolate. Don't hole up by yourself. There's always going to be opportunity for you to get a lot of ministry, have a lot of fun, and this trip is going to be, as my grandson says, pretty good. Sandy, right up here, John. We got that seat saved for you. So here we are.
So happy about that.
She's like, I got my front row, yes!
Stand there, but he's too tall.
Had to move him. So here we are. So today is going to be testimony day. People who have gone on the trip. Again, I want to reiterate for Sandy, just got here. She was at work, and she just got out of work. Sandy, when you give your testimony today, we're looking for you to share not so much about what you saw, as much as the logistics of the trip. Everything from suitcases to water bottles to snackages, to scheduling, to food, to hotel accommodations, what they're like, that type of thing. Just share from your heart, and that's what it's going to be. Now I've got 4 folks here that have been to Israel with us before. 2 of them are going back again, Lord willing. So 2 of them are returning, and one would like to, and her husband said it's okay, but she says he's not feeling the best, I don't want to leave him, otherwise I'd be there. So she's not going to be going. The other one was going to go and then change his mind, so he's not going, but he still might, you never know. You just never know. But at any rate, you just never know. So at any rate, that's what we got. So with that said, today is logistics. So what's going to happen, those of you online, you'll be hearing from us by the end of March. We're going to be telling you where we're going to be flying from, and you will have the arrangements made. So you'll be flying either from Minneapolis or from Dallas, wherever it is, and meeting us to where we're flying out of. And those arrangements will be made for you. So that's all going to be taken care of next month. So that's done. I want to thank you guys online. I believe all of you now are currently paid. Most of you have paid in full. A couple of you have paid what you're supposed to pay up to this date. So that's all good. So we're looking good there. And that's what we got. For those of you that are in Albuquerque, or I think my uncle and aunt might be coming down to Albuquerque and flying out of here with us, which would be cool. Come on down. But if they do that, so those that are coming out of Albuquerque, we're going to meet early in the morning on Thursday. We're going to have you, we're going to make arrangements for you to get to the airport as we get closer, but you'll be picked up at your home. We're not going to, last time we stayed at a hotel, remember, and went from there. We're going to have you stay at your home, because last time we had a bunch of young folks going. And I'm just going to be honest, I did not want to have one of them with the alarm not go off, basically is what it was. So I said, we'll just put everybody together, and that way I can make sure you're all ready to go. Don't have to do it this time, I trust y'all. So we'll get there early, but you'll have your rides picking you up, bringing you to the airport. When we get to the airport, you'll be getting your suitcase out of your vehicle, come into the front of the airport with your suitcase. Once we have your suitcase, relax, you got it, you're good to go. We will be checking all in as a group. We can't check in until everybody is there. So if one person is late, we're all late. So that's why we're going to have people pick you up, bring you to the airport. So we'll get you to the airport, and once you're at the airport, then what we're going to do is we'll check you in. I'll bring you up one at a time, because I want to look at your passports and that. I know a lot of you have traveled before, and that's cool, but I don't want you to be the one saying, I've got this. No, no, no. Now just relax. We got you. We got you. We'll get you checked in, make sure you have your passport. We'll check you in. And then we're going to go into security. We're good to go. We'll have a couple hours probably before we have to board, maybe an hour before we board. You want some breakfast? Eat breakfast. That's on you. But if you want some breakfast there at the airport, eat, have fun, just chill. We get on the plane wherever we're going to go. Last time we flew to Salt Lake City, which was really weird. We flew to Salt Lake City and then Salt Lake City to New York. It was like, what in the world? And it felt like we had flown all day long and we were still in the States. And we weren't even, we weren't anywhere yet. I was like, what's this? And then people started showing up in New York, and we all got together and met from different parts of the country, hopped on the plane, and had a wonderful flight, had a short night, a wonderful time, and got into Israel. From there on out, once we get to Israel, the guys will pick up the suitcases. Stan, I'll probably ask you to help with that, and Roman to help with that, Brian to help with that, and James to help with that. So we'll have about 4 guys. We're going to have special tags on your suitcase that I will provide for you. And they're going to be marked with Journeys Unlimited on there. And they mark it so we can spot the suitcases. So what we'll do is we'll take the suitcases. They'll be coming out. Everyone else will be off to the side. And just the guys that I'm asking will be there. Don't worry. That's mine. That's mine. We've got it. Don't worry. We'll take the suitcases off. If you get your suitcase, we'll just meet over there off to the side until everyone's got their suitcase. Once we have the suitcases, then we'll go through security together. And on the other side of security, we'll hold there and meet again, because once we go out the doors, we got to get to the right bus. There'll be buses there. We want to go to our bus. So I'll be there to take us to our bus. We get on the bus, and you can start pinching yourself, because it's one of those feelings that you've never had in your life before. The first day there, we're going to just go through, and you get to meet the tour guide, whoever he is. What was the name of our tour guide? Ariel. And he was all right. He's all right. The tour guides are phenomenal. They really are. They're phenomenal tour guides. And you're gonna fall in love with the tour guide and the bus driver, they're just fun. And those will be our guys the whole time. They'll take us for about a 25-minute ride or so over to the hotel. Hotels are not super nice, but they're not super bad. They're okay, they're all right. So we'll stay at the hotels. We'll get in the hotel, we'll get checked in. It's gonna take a while. Usually they have a little drink of orange juice or something for us, some punch, a little snackage, a little Israel snackage. And we sit and we eat a little bit while they get the room set up, and then they give you the key to your room, you go to your room, and miraculously there's that suitcase. And your suitcase will be right there, and that's how it's gonna be from here on out. You never carry your suitcase, we've got that. So you go to your room, you have time just to kind of freshen up. That's where you like to take a shower because you've been in those clothes since the day before. It's time for a shower. We get our shower, but then we go to eat right after that. But it's so fantastic, you don't even care. Would that be a true statement? True statement. So you're going to do that, and then we have our meal, and it's just nothing but fantastic. And from there on, off we go. Typically people go out for a little walk, and if injuries are going to happen, that's where they're going to happen, is that night. Because you're tired, you're excited, everything's just messed up. Our daughter Yvette decided she was young, she could go out that night, no problem. That's where she fell and got the big scar on her leg, but still there. Fell on the rocks and bam. So anybody, you get tired, you just get tired. So you can go out that night, but I would encourage you, just get that first night rest. It's been a long time. Eat, have a great meal, laugh, be excited, get some sleep. The next morning you get up bright and early, we'll have breakfast, and you got the whole day to do whatever you want. And it's pretty stinking amazing. I'm not going to say anything more. I just want you guys to come up and share a little bit. Rose, since you're our neighbor across the street, last time we went, Rose and her husband Delbert went with us. And Rose, come on up right here and just say anything you want. Rose is a lifetime teacher, so she's used to speaking in front of people. First graders, but still, it's there. It's all yours, girl.
Yay. Well, you know, just listening to Con, I kept thinking, oh my God, that was the most beautiful trip ever. It really, really was. But you don't really have to be worried about any kind of, no stress. I know you tend to be stressed, in any kind of trip, but this one, it just isn't stressful because, like he said, everything's just really taken care of. It really, really is, up to the tour, all the tours, all the dinners we went to. Everything was just really scheduled on time. You were never stressed. You were never feeling like, oh, we're going to be late, or they're not going to wait for us. And everything just fell into place. It really fell into place, and it was just supposed to happen. It really was. This trip is something you're supposed to go through. It really is, and because of that, everything will be perfect. All the hotels were wonderful. They really, especially the one in Tel Aviv, was my favorite, I think, because it was just awesome to drive into and see the Mediterranean Sea, and it was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And the food was awesome. The food, especially that night, was absolutely wonderful. And there's wonderful food every day. I don't know, you just don't have to worry about anything. You really don't have to worry about anything. You're safe. You see all the militia people sometimes in certain areas, and they're also friendly. You think, oh my God, am I, what's going on? But it's all just part of the culture and part of the situation, and nothing is, there's nothing to be stressed about, because everybody is, all the guys, especially in Israel, they're so friendly. Everybody's so friendly, and they're all taking care of you, and I don't know, it's just a beautiful time. You will never, never, never forget it. I don't really know what else to say other than just relax and enjoy it. You're going to just love it, because you're gonna, every time you read the Bible, or you come to Bible class and you read about a certain destination, or or a name or an area, I said, oh my God, I was there. You know, I remember that. The river of Jordan, the Dan River, all of those, they were absolutely beautiful. So they will ring a bell for you because you will right away bring up the visual in your mind of what it was like. And of course the camaraderie with these people, it was absolutely wonderful. Especially at night. At night it was all so peaceful, and we all were together, and we all, I don't know, it was just a nice time because you were able to go with small little groups and interact with each other, and you know, you really built up a nice relationship with everybody. But anyway, the trip was awesome. You're going to love it, and you will never forget it for the rest of your life. Really.
Thank you, Rose. Do you remember David Rao when he came and talked to us the night before?
Oh, yes.
He said what you said, remember?
Oh,
He said the trip was awesome, you'll never forget it, you won't regret it, you'll never forget it. And now 3 years later, here's Rose standing up, the trip was awesome, you'll never forget it.
You won't.
It's sweet. Gary Johnson, come on up and share a little bit about your experience on the trips and what's up.
Hello everybody, I'm Gary Johnson, hello out there. What can I say about Israel? It is the most fantastic experience that you'll have in your lifetime. And I can say that with total honesty and sincerity. From the time that where Pastor left off, where you hit the bus, you don't have to worry about your luggage. It's just carefree. As Pastor Kahn says, he will take care of any needs that you have, so you don't have to worry about that. I've been blessed, the Lord's blessed me to be on 3 wonderful trips in my life. I've been to Branson, Missouri. I've been to, I just got back last year from a trip to a Mediterranean cruise, and been to Israel in 2012. And I kept comparing my European trip to Israel, and let me tell you, the Israel trip is so well organized, so well planned out. Every little detail is thought out and planned, and it makes a world of difference. For example, the shuttle buses. Everybody gets a chilled bottle of water, 2 chilled bottles of water per person per day. On the European cruises, you don't get that. The bathroom breaks are planned in, the bathroom stops, and the lunches are planned in. And you don't get that a lot of times on the European trips because they're so rushed, and they're dealing with such large volumes. They treat the group as, you know, as in a professional, well-organized way. It's just amazing. The tour guides are extremely well-knowledged in the Bible, so as we're traveling, he explains in a lot of detail on what's happening, and so the shuttle buses are clean, they're air-conditioned, the windows are kept clean, so the seats are all clean and well-repaired, so it's the bus rides are just wonderful. They're comfortable. And of course, the going with a small group or a large group of fellow Christians, the bonding that takes place and the love and the excitement is just amazing. It's just the most joyous time you can spend with a group of people and travel the world and see where our Savior lived his life, and just seeing where all this happened, and it just brings the Bible to life. It's just, I could go on, but it's just the most, I would choose Israel trip over any other trip I've ever taken. It's that good. And I know you'll enjoy it just as much. We had wonderful weather, and they won't take you anywhere that's unsafe. So you don't have to worry about, you know, when I was at work, I was telling them I was going to Israel, I was all excited, and they're saying, why would you want to go there? You know, bullets flying, this and that. no bullets flying. It's completely safe. They're not gonna take you anywhere that's unsafe. So I think that's it. I just enjoy it. It's worth every penny.
How about the food?
The food, absolutely fantastic. If there's something that you don't care for, you will find something that you like. There's such a variety of food. They've got cheeses and breads and all kinds of things. You will find something you like. It's wonderful, and it's wonderful to experiment and try new things. And you will find something you like. You don't have to worry about not finding food. You don't have to worry about safety. All your needs are met, and it's so well organized. It's just worth it, and wish I was going. So with that, God willing, have you enjoy.
All right, so that was Rose, that was Gary. Stan, you ready? Stan will be going again. That's kind of happening.
Yeah, there's more than me going.
So explain that.
Okay.
Explain that and tell us about the trip.
Okay, well, last time we were planning on going, and it ends up, things came up, and it's like, oh, okay, well, me and Lisa, my wife, we're not going, but, well, my daughter's going. Okay. So then it came to where, well, long story short, what happened is, it all worked out, we all went. So my two daughters went, my wife and me went, and my brother, his wife and sister, we had the whole family there almost, it was cool. And so, you know, don't give up. I mean, sometimes, you know, I was going to these classes, well, no, he's going anymore, I'm not going, you know. But God had different, you know, plan for my life, and I looked at it like it didn't happen, and he says, just wait. Well, I got some, two other ones I want to take, you know, two little ones, well, they're 12 and 10. And oh man, that'd be great for me, the great joy. I would have such, it would be like a thrill for me beyond measure, because just seeing them light up when they see what they've been hearing in their Bible studies and reading, and so to me, I'm just like, oh, please, 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 you know. My desire is for them to go, and maybe it's, you know, when I first went, I had people, when I told them I'm going to Israel, oh, you're going to Israel? Oh, that was the best trip I ever had. Like, really? And these are people that were just like on different job sites. I didn't know them. You really like, I mean, then it got to the point where they're saying, oh man, you're going to love it. I'm like, how can it be that nice? Well, they were right. Everybody was right. It was that nice. And so it was a surprise, but I was, you know, when we got there, oh man. Remember when we flew in and got in the airport? I took pictures of everything in the airport. I just, this is great. And then you go out there and you walk in the park, there's the bus. The bus is ready for us. We don't have to wonder if the bus is there. They get the bags, they put it on, and we're on our way. We get to the motel, and we had the view of the Mediterranean Sea. You look out there and you say, oh, this is beautiful. The room is beautiful. The room is nice. I mean, I loved the room. And knowing that I wasn't going to be there much, it was really great. But everything was met. Like they said earlier, the rooms are clean. And everything was in order. They had the locked deposit box there for you for your valuables, that you can lock up your stuff, which, you know, because we're going to be away from the room pretty much all day, so that was taken care of. I remember the very first meal we had there was like a fantastic meal. It was after you get off the plane for all those hours, and you see this spread in front of you, you're just like, oh, I got to try everything. And you want to try everything, and you do try everything, but it's like, then you're but I remember sitting there eating, and looking out the window, and the sun is setting in the Mediterranean Sea. Oh my word, it was like, that view was like $1 million view. Yeah. And plus all that food, and it was like, oh man, it's gonna it just keeps getting better. And I thought the airport was great, and the parking lot. And so it kept getting better, and every day it was like a new thing happening, and it was like, oh. But for me, I don't sleep well. But the whole time I was on that trip, I slept every night. Wow. And it was like, I don't sleep when I'm at home. You know, I'm up and up, you know, and up and down, up and down. And it was like, that was cool. I didn't even have to set an alarm clock, but I woke up on time. And I remember that, you know, it was where, you know, sleep is expensive in Israel. I remember being told that. And I don't know if that stuck in my mind, that's why I got up early. But But I was always rested. I didn't wake up and say, oh man, I wish I didn't have to go anywhere. You wake up and you're ready, your adrenaline's going. And so, so then we get the first day, and then we stayed at that other motel by the Sea of Galilee, and that was a simple motel, but it was a kibbutz changed in for tourists to sleep in, and I loved that room because I knew right outside that door was the Sea of Galilee, and so at 5 in the morning I wake up on my own, no clock, and you go out to the Sea of Galilee. And then you come in after your quiet time, prayer time out there, and then you have another great breakfast. And then they have everything in the bus. In the bus, you walk on the bus and you're going again. So it's stress, none. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't slept. But it was constant, and it was fun, and it was like, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, that is as good as a vacation. So to go back, yeah, that's what I want to do. So that's the plan. And so, but it's just like you mentioned, they mentioned earlier, is you when you hear things in the Bible, you hear in Getty or Masada or the Temple Mount. You saw the Temple Mount. You see this stuff in your mind. Kidron Valley. You know where the Kidron Valley is. You saw it. You walked it. You saw the Mount. All this, and it was like all this stuff. It's just you won't be even the slightest bit disappointed. You'll have a great time, and the energy level, my energy level was just great over there. It didn't come down until I came back here. But that was expected. So, what else I can say? You won't be disappointed.
How about Masada?
Masada? Oh, that was fantastic. I just like to look at things and you think, how do these people build like this? Well, who's taller than this? Who decided to build this thing on top of a mountain? It's like, these guys, it was incredible. I'm just amazed at the architecture over there. I mean, when I was over there, I like to look at architecture, and I must have took a bunch of pictures. And I had somebody, matter of fact, Jane, she came up to me and said, what are you taking a picture of that for? I said, oh, it looks cool. I just like the way they build over there. Everything's cool over there, it's everything. I mean, 1,700 pictures later, I did like it. I couldn't get enough, but so that my greatest thrill would be if there's 2 kids could come with me that I'm trying to get, and that would be like that'd be like icing on the top. So, but if not, I'm still gonna have fun. So, but no, you'll love it.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
The hotel rooms in Europe and in Israel are different than our hotel rooms, typically. They're much smaller. In America, we have the big rooms. Big rooms. And I've asked, I've been asked, and I asked the people in Israel and in Europe both, why are the rooms so small? And they just look and say, why in America are your rooms so big? He says, all you do in a hotel room is sleep. Why do you need all this room to sleep? And I really had no answer. So that is one of the things you'll notice. The hotel rooms are going to be a little bit tighter than you're used to here in America. But they're going to be clean. It's going to have everything we have here except less floor space between the front door and your bed. So that's about the only difference. The rooms are smaller. You're going to have great views. As Stan said, Stan or Gary, one of you talked about the locks. You have the little safes in some of the rooms. Other times you lock them down at the front desk. You always have a place for your passports if you're leaving them in the water or something. And if you have cash, valuables, you can always lock those up if you feel like you want to do that. Everything you ever want is there. So there'll be no problems. Just get ready for smaller rooms. Smaller rooms, but bigger entrances of the hotels, bigger lobbies at the hotels, bigger buffets at the hotels. They're big in the community part, small in the rooms. You just go there, sleep, and get up. So that's kind of the difference there. Okay? Yeah, Gary.
I believe the electricity there is different too, so you probably need to bring adapters,
Bring the adapters.
electronics and
Yeah,
stuff.
make sure you bring the little adapters. We talked about that, but bring those adapters. And who was it? Was it you, Linda, looking at Libre luggage packing thing?
They're gonna get back to me, they're still thinking about when they can do it.
Okay. We're going to try and get something together, maybe on a Saturday. We'll move Israel 101 to a Saturday, but Libre luggage, it sounds like they'll be willing to come and show us how to pack very smartly, I guess is the best way of putting it. So it's a packing seminar.
He said 10 days in a carry-on.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do.
So think about that. So it's something you wanna be, yeah, you wanna come to that if you can. So that'll be coming up. Sandy, are you ready? Sandy was here with us our last trip and is looking at this trip, so here we are.
Hey, hello everybody. So, it's hard to be one of the last people to talk because many points have been hit that I wanted to talk about. But I think the thing that struck me the most when I was there was the community, the people that were just out and about in the community. The first day, my daughter and I went to a little roadside or whatever stand to get something to eat, and the man that was behind the stand was extremely friendly. Like, I was terrified. Like, do you speak English? I mean, I didn't really know what I was doing. And as it turns out, if you even try to speak a little bit of Hebrew to them, just say hello, shalom to them. Sometimes they start speaking Hebrew and you have to say, whoa, back up, you know, I don't speak Hebrew, I was just being nice. But they appreciate that, and they appreciate you embracing their culture and appreciating their culture, and they're just really friendly and very sweet. You don't feel, or at least I didn't feel like I was being cheated or being made fun of or anything. They just appreciate your business. They appreciate your willingness to try to speak the two words you may know in Hebrew, thank you and, you know, hello and thank you, maybe. But anyway, it struck me everywhere we went. Now, in the tourist industry, I expected people to treat me that way, but out in the street, out wherever you are, everybody is friendly. Everybody is friendly. The other thing that struck me was when we were in Tel Aviv, we were there on a Shabbat day when everyone was, or a lot of people were not working, and it was stunning to me. So when you wake up in the morning, if you get up early enough, you go out into the street. There's very few people out in the street. The beaches are pretty much empty. A few fishermen, you know, a few people running, healthy people, you know, that kind of thing. By the middle of the day, that beach was packed with people, families everywhere, and they were playing sort of like a badminton game. That's not what it is, but very similar with rackets and a small projectile object. They're going back and forth. I mean, there were 1 million people on the beach and about 150,000 of these balls going everywhere. Nobody getting hit, nobody getting hurt, nobody crying, nobody upset, nobody angry because, your kid's in my way or, whatever. It was amazing. They have a true sense of family and community. And whenever they take the day off, they actually take the day off. I mean, I just came from work, so I don't comprende that. So, but they really, it's an amazingly friendly, genuine place to be. So I'm really excited, if the Lord lets me on the plane, to be able to experience that again. A few of the other things that I appreciated, everyone so far has mentioned, or I think almost everybody has mentioned the hotel in Tel Aviv. It was amazing because you could see the Mediterranean Sea, but at night you could leave the door open. Like, they have a front door to the hotel. You close that one. But then on the other side, they had like a teeny tiny balcony and the window or a door, whichever. And all night long, you could hear the sea, and you could smell the smells that are so good. They're good smells, not bad smells. And I mean, that's why you were sleeping, because it's awesome. It's just really fantastic. Everyone is sort of hit on the water they provide in the bus, and the food and things that they provide. So my tip for everybody who's listening, especially those that I haven't already sort of slammed with this information, my suggestion is that you bring a hat. And I brought a floppy hat for some reason. That was not a good idea because the breeze would take it off of my head. So you may have to be less cute, or maybe you want to wear a floppy hat, I don't know. But a hat that you can actually keep on your head, and anytime anyone offers you water that you feel safe about drinking. You know, let's not be crazy, but take it because it's very hot. You get dehydrated very quickly, and you need to stay hydrated, or you're gonna ruin your trip. You're gonna get sick, or you're gonna get tired, and you're gonna fall or something. So just hydrate, 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 and sunscreen. Brigitte wanted me to plug sunscreen. The other thing I suggest, 2 more things. One, shoes that can get wet and stay on your feet if you step into a mud bank. So when you go into something like the Sea of Galilee, for example, if you step on something squishy, you want your shoe to come up with your foot. You don't want it to get stuck in the middle of something. So shoes that fit, but sandals that can get wet, you know. And then clothes that breathe. Cotton is a wonderful thing unless you're in Israel in 100-degree weather. So breathable, nice things so that you can enjoy, again, wherever it is that you are. Let's see. I guess that's pretty much it.
How about the Dead Sea?
The
Dead Sea.
Oh yes, the Dead Sea. That was really, okay, another tip, when you're at the Dead Sea, wear your sandals. You'll see people barefoot, but it is hot. The sea, or the sand is white, and it is hot. And whatever you think I mean by hot, jack it up about 20 degrees. It's hot. You'll burn your feet getting into the sea into the Dead Sea if you're not careful. But anyway, it was really fantastic. Literally, you've seen like in magazines or maybe articles or stuff that you've read where people are in the Dead Sea and they're holding a newspaper and they're just sitting. You can see their knees up out of the water and everything. Literally, like no flotation device or anything. People are just sitting out there. You can literally hold a paper and be one of those people. It is an amazing place. It's very not good to get into your mouth. Does not taste good. Do not open your eyes. If you have any cuts, they will be healed almost immediately with some stinging going on. But it's amazing. Again, even there, lots of community, lots of people, you know, interacting with each other, very friendly. There's a pool so that you can get the salt and the minerals and things off of you and actually stay in the water if you want to. So they have showers to, you know, wash yourself off and get the sand off of you. And there's a spa there that we didn't get to enjoy, but I don't know, we'll see how that works out this time. I don't know, it was awesome. Every place we went was awesome. What was the place where we went? I always forget the name. Gary, you and I spent time together there.
Sakni.
Yes, Sakni. Ooh, okay. So just let me tell you, whenever we say we're going to Sakni, and don't forget your bathing suit, don't forget your bathing suit. Oh my word, it is one of the best places. It's an oasis in the middle of the desert. It's beautiful and very nice water, and it's just so relaxing. Oh, you guys, it's so much fun! Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I hope I'm also going to love it.
Yes. You will love it. You are.
I hope so.
Kidding?
I don't know. Anything else I should hit? Anyone have questions? Or, I mean, guess I shouldn't ask for questions, but sorry, that was habit, sorry.
We have, when I was talking, I should go up here. Stay there, Sandy. When I was talking with these folks about sharing, I asked them to share about the logistics of the trip, not about the spiritual aspect, because the spiritual aspect is all over the place. But I said, to share about the logistics of it and the value of it. But just before we have Sandy sit down, talk about the Garden Tomb experience. What's that like? What's that like?
You know, the Garden Tomb experience started out being strange for me because it's sort of set in the middle of the city. Like, you don't realize where you are, really, or the significance of where you are. And so, for me, it was one of the strangest beginnings of something phenomenal. And so, we were, Pastor Khan, or maybe it was the tour guide, somebody was trying to give us a visual of where we were. We're standing in the middle of the city, buses everywhere, people everywhere, honking everywhere. And, you know, and then someone saying, and then right over here, you can kind of see this skull shape, or you can kind of see this. And really, you're just really seeing buses and things like that. And you can see it. I mean, you can understand what they're talking about, but it's not very, for me, I was kind of not quite there. I mean, I was like, okay, well, that's good. Then, when you actually go into the actual area, it is so beautiful. It truly is a garden. Green everywhere, flowers everywhere, pathways through, you know, like you're literally in a garden. It's awesome. I mean, and then whenever you actually get into the place, the last time we did it, we had a small service and very, very short, and the significance really, really sets in. For me, it set in right then. I mean, going from the city into what felt like a whole new region, into this garden, walking through it, it's very serene, very beautiful, and then going inside of this other area, and then opening scripture, reading, I believe we had a communion service, and the gravity of the event, you know, the gravity of who Christ is and what he signifies and what he went through and what happened, what his goal was and how it was accomplished, it just really sets in. It's very powerful. It was for me. Very, very, very powerful. It was for a few other people. I remember some pretty intense, you know, strong reactions while we were there. But good reactions. And I walked out of the garden tomb different than when I walked in. I walked in not sure how it was going to affect me. You know, you were in Israel, you're doing something very significant, you want to feel it, you want to be one of those people that says, wow, that was awesome, but you don't want to have to fake it, you know. And so as I was walking in, I was thinking, wow, not quite there. Oh, it was amazing. The tour guides, Pastor Khan, Brian, the three of them together worked together, I'm assuming, the way that it came together, I'm assuming they worked together. The messages that were given, the significance of the scriptures in each place, like the garden tomb, was very, very, very powerful. And that's why you'll never forget it. You'll never forget it. You may forget pieces, but you won't forget it. And it won't take much to remind you if you forget some details. But anyway, garden tomb, it was awesome. It was very, very good.
Sweet.
So,
Thank you, Sandy.
is that all?
Thank you. Connie, you ready? I didn't ask you, just telling me you were there. Come on up. Just share something, anything you like. In season, out of season. Come on up, girl. This is my wife, Connie, for those of you watching. She is not prepared. Here we
No,
go.
I am not prepared. But, wow, what a life-changing experience this was. Everything that everyone that has spoken about the Israel trip, I must ditto everything. I don't know that I can even add anything else, but you will have your moments. There will be a different place. You may have 2 or 3 moments. You may have one big moment. And that moment will be with you forever. So you will never forget that moment. But along with the everything that everyone else has said, and I think everybody's kind of playing down the hotel rooms. They're really first-class rooms. You're in 4-star hotels, or sometimes 5-star, and you're actually treated like royalty. You don't have to lift a finger to do anything. You don't, like Stan said, you don't have to make any decisions. Everything is just laid out. Everything is in place for you. The thing that it did for me, well, I had a big experience when we were on the Sea of Galilee. And that experience has stuck with me forever. Another one was at the Jordan River. I mean, you just have your moments. The garden tomb, everywhere, you will have a special moment. But the thing that I want to encourage all of you to do is just go with an open mind. Be ready to receive whatever is there for you. The spiritual experience is there. You can't get past that. It is just there. but you will have that camaraderie with friends. You'll make new friends. You know, you will love the people. And you will make bonds that you will keep forever when you get back with those on the tour. The Holocaust Museum, we had a chance to visit that, and that was another experience. It just kind of makes you cringe to see the agony that was placed on these people. It was just so horrendous. And you hear about it, and you read about it. You're probably seeing things on TV about it, but there's nothing like being there and seeing what actually happened. And you know, it makes you so grateful and so appreciative for what we have, you know, and how we have the freedom to do the things that we do. So there's a lot of eye-opening experiences. There's nothing that you can just, one thing you can identify, because everything is just phenomenal, totally phenomenal. Going back to the food again, everybody loves to eat, but they have all kinds of stations set up with desserts, with beverages, with cheeses, with all kinds of fruits and veggies, and all kinds of cold meats. But then you've got a whole section that has all the cooked food, you know, if you want that. So you will get to experience all kinds of different foods. If you haven't already, I want to encourage you to do that. When we go out for lunch, I want to encourage you to do that as well. A few Sundays ago, I know that we talked about the different kinds of foods that we had there. Don't be afraid to try the foods. They are wonderful. They are wonderful. Some of the fun things that we get to do is go out in the evenings, and we go down town. I forget the name of the street. It's not Vita Shaw. What is it?
Ben Yehuda, maybe?
Ben Yehuda, Ben Yehuda. And there you will see families out and about. And you know, the Israeli people are so family oriented. You know, it's like they are out and about in the community, but all the family is there. You know, they're out taking a stroll, they're out walking the dog, they're out, you know, shopping, they're out just meeting friends for tea or coffee or whatever. And there's such a family unity there that, you know, I just, that's just amazing. Shopping, ladies, you're gonna have a blast. In Tiberias, oh man, it's so fun. It is so fun. They have the coolest clothes there. So we'll get to do that. The guys, they have really cool things too. So, but the marketplaces as well, I'll mention that and then I'm done. But when you go to the different markets, when you go down to Ben Yehuda and you shop there in Jerusalem, okay, it's a total different thing because the price is the price, okay? But then we go into the Arab market, and there you get to do some bartering, and it's so fun. It is so stinking fun, because they will give you a price and you'll say no, and you know, they'll want you to buy it so badly you keep haggling back and forth, and then you leave, and then they run after you and they sell it to you for this price. But it's just an experience, and I tell you, it is just a fun experience. Just don't go alone. Don't wander off by yourself. And don't go into any back rooms. And it just goes on and it winds in and out, and you will get lost. You don't know where you came from or how you got there and how to get out. So that you don't want to do. But there's just all kinds of fun things. And you will have a memory of a lifetime. And I will guarantee you that after you come back from this trip, you will be able to say too, that scripture, it's just not the same when you read it. You see it, you feel it, you taste it, you hear it, you smell it. I mean, all your senses come into play. So it's an amazing journey. You're gonna love it, and I cannot stress enough. Go, let your hair down. You don't have to worry about anything. Everything is taken care of. Have a blast. It's gonna be wonderful.
Thank you, sweetie. So that's from 5 of the folks that have been there. So you kind of get an idea that's what's in front of us. As far as Israel 101 goes, we're changing our schedule. From here on out, we're doing first and last Sunday of the month now. So first and last Sunday of the month, which means we've got 7 more left, that's it. What we're gonna be doing from here on out is we're gonna be getting into the scriptures now. So we've covered the logistics, we've covered topography and geography, we've covered the itinerary, we've gone through each day and talked about some of the highlights of each day and all. But from here on out, we're going to go back on the tour and we're going to get a little bit more background on each of the major stops. Things that, so when our tour guide talks about things, those of you that have been in Israel 101 will have a better grasp of what he's talking about. When we get into the scriptures, you'll have a lot of the background to it. So when we're there and I'm reading the scripture, or if Brian's reading the scripture, or if you're asked to read the scripture, and you're reading the scripture, you'll have a pretty good idea of what's going on. And we're reading it just to bring it to life, and then we'll just throw a quick application, or we'll throw something just real sweet in the midst of it. But I want you to be knowing exactly where we're at, what's going on, the significance of the place, because there will be people on the trip who won't know. And you're going to be sitting by them from time to time, and they're going to ask, now what's this all about? And you'll be able to tell them. And that'll be good. That'll be really good. So that's where we're at. So the first and last Sunday of the month. This is the last Sunday of the month. We've been going first, second, and last Sunday. Now just first and last. So next week, yes. And then we're off a couple of weeks to the last Sunday, first and last, first and last, first. We're out. Okay, got it? And that's where we are. Thanks for being here today. Are you ready to go, Mrs. C? Mm-hmm. I understand you paid everything?
It's paid,
And you paid everything?
and
And you paid everything?
pretty much. And I've got insurance too.
So you're just good to go.
I'm good to go.
You are going. You're out of here. Lord,
I
Lord,
got
you're
my
out.
suitcase too.
Oh, well, we're good to go. Mrs. C is out of here. This is awesome. This is awesome. It's going to be a sweet, sweet, sweet trip. This trip is much different than any trip I've been on. And I'm really looking forward to it. Years ago, Gary Johnson, you heard him speak just a little bit ago, his mom and dad signed up to go on the trip. And I was so concerned for them because they were older people. And they were pretty old. And I go, man, Kenny and Hazel are going to go? They're old. And then my parents had another set of old friends, Billy and Tony Tagliaferri. And I go, oh my goodness, we got old people going. Plus my parents, we got old people going. And I was really concerned, and we had a pretty good size, if I remember right, probably about 50 people on that trip. And I'm thinking, I've got 3 sets of old people going on this trip. And then my grandmother fell and went into concussion. She was in a coma for a long time, and my parents couldn't go. Well, both Billy and Tony, husband and wife, and Kenny and Hazel were going because my parents were going. My grandma fell, and they're like, Carmen Henry, are you not going? Well, my parents could get out because of family emergency and insurance, so they couldn't, so they were going, but they were like, So I said, I got you, we'll have fun. I remember talking to the people who were helping me on the trip. I said, we got some old people on this trip. Old people. I was so concerned about their age. Oh man, I was concerned. And I made it. We made it. I was worried sick, but we got them back home safe and sound with no anything. Nothing. And then I was sitting here looking at this just recently. And I know old y'all are because I got your passports. And I'm like, we got some old folk on this trip. But it's not like Kenny and Hazel and Billy and Tony. So I asked Dad, how old are Kenny and Hazel? And he told me. And I realized that when they were on that trip, they were younger than I am right now.
Oh, goodness.
No. Really? Wow.
20 years ago.
Wow.
Maybe my age. Maybe your mom was my age. She's 81, right? Or is she 80?
Dad's 91 and Mom's 81.
So she's my age.
Wow.
Yeah, tell me about it, Wow.
And you thought they were really old.
Slap in the face. Yeah, I was all concerned for Hazel Johnson. How am I going to handle this? She was 61. She was a pup.
Oh,
And your dad was
goodness.
71. So it's like, you know, it's just crazy. Delbert was how old when we went?
That was about 3-4 years ago.
72.
72,
Yeah.
79.
He had no issues whatsoever.
No.
Except just nothing.
No,
Nothing.
he did good.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing. It is so nothing. So I'm not even concerned. I believe the oldest person on the trip will probably, sorry, Uncle Dan will be my uncle, I think. And he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. Not even concerned. So we're gonna be just fine. And you got an old guy looking out for you, so you're good to go. So we got this. We got this. But this is gonna be nothing but fun. Nothing but fun. Last trip we had a bunch of young folk on there. So it was kind of balancing the young with us older folk, and we made it. But it was like they were a lot of energy. They'd be out running around, and they'd come in. Remember the first Saturday morning we were there? We just got done running 6 miles. It's like I just got done eating 6 omelets. This is awesome. We're good to go here. But it's a different thing. But on this trip, for the most part, except for James and Brigitte, if she goes, are going to be the only 2 youngins plus Stan's. I'm going to call them your grandkids,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
right.
Michael and Hannah. They're going to be the youngins. So we're going to have like 4 youngins. And then after that, it drops down to, I guess, to Brian and Christy. And after that is probably me. So, I mean, Sandy. Sorry, Sandy.
I knew that.
But, you know, we're going to be a little bit different group this time. So it's going to be sweet. So it's going to be just real sweet. I'm so looking forward to it. I can hardly wait to watch you have your moments in Israel, because you will have them, and they're life-changing. It's way good. So today we talked more fun. We talked some of the cool things you're going to see, and that were not of spiritual significance, just fun stuff. But the overwhelming majority of this trip is the spiritual aspect. And that's the part that's going to blow your mind. It's just crazy. And it's what ruins all your vacations from this point on. And I say that, and it's true. You know, it would have been so much better for Gary to go on the Mediterranean cruise before he went to Israel. Because then he would have really enjoyed that Mediterranean cruise more, because he would have been comparing it. He said, this is awesome, this is great. But he got a chance to see a trip and have the spiritual impact. And that changes everything. So, this is what it is. It's just what it is. So it's going to be a blast. Thanks for being here, Rose. Thanks for being here, Gary. Thanks for being here, Stan. Thanks for sharing, Sandy. Thanks for sharing, Connie. Because you guys are always here anyway. But thank you for sharing. And that's what we got. Next week, we're going to pick up with background to our first couple of days. I think it'll be our first 3 days. We'll be looking at spiritual significance of where we're going, the biblical impact and setting, as we prepare for our trip. It'll be pretty sweet. So God bless you guys, and look forward to seeing you in about an hour and a half. God bless you guys. See you. God bless. We are done, James.
Yay.